Hey guys, I'm here from Transformers and Video Games, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at my Machine Robo series, MR-14 Shuttle Robo, also known as GoBots Spay-C. So sit back and relax, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and let's get right into this. A little bit of background information on this figure. It was originally released in Japan's Machine Robo series as MR-14 Shuttle Robo and was later brought to North America by Tonka and released in 1983 as Spay-C in the GoBots line. The character was depicted as male in the Machine Robo animated series, but was a female and a member of the Friendly Guardians in the Challenge of the GoBots series, which was produced by Hanna-Barbera to support the GoBots line. Here you can see that Spay-C is a small white NASA-style space shuttle with some black color accents on the nose, in the cockpit, and on the underside of the shuttle that breaks up the predominantly white color scheme quite successfully. On the top there are two silver foil stickers and some chrome detailing that seems unnecessary and a little bit random in shuttle mode, but were clearly intended to enhance the robot configuration. On the back of each wing, there's a sticker that says USA, along with an American flag that really helps sell this as a real-life space shuttle. Looking at the back of the shuttle, we can see that Tonka has gone that extra mile and included 4 silver chrome jet thrusters, which would most certainly be plain white or black plastic if a similar style figure were produced in modern day. The underside of the alt mode is fairly clean. Here there's really no giveaway that this is actually a robot in disguise, aside from the rectangular cutout that's obviously there to accommodate the face in robot mode. The black section in the middle is painted die-cast metal, and they've even included 3 silver chrome wheels that all roll quite nicely. Overall, I think that the shuttle mode is a very solid alt mode. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's get into the transformation. Start off by pulling both legs down, then swing the tail fin to the backside of the figure out of the way. A little childhood memory of mine is that I used to have a cool knockoff version of Spay-C as a kid, where the tail fin was designed to come right off, and he could actually hold it in his hand as a melee weapon. Next, we're going to pull the arms out from the sides of the figure. A little tip here would be to rotate the head section so that the face cutout is directly above the shoulder so that you have enough clearance and leverage to pull the arms out. Then rotate the head section into position to reveal the face, and that's it for the transformation. Looking at the figure in robot mode, the entire chest section is made out of painted die-cast metal, which helps add some heft to the figure despite her small size. And here's where those sticker and chrome details that I mentioned in shuttle mode earlier really shine. The chrome strip in the middle acts as a belt section, and between that, the shiny silver stickers above and below it, and the chrome thighs, they really enhance the look of the robot mode. I think that everything here is fairly well proportioned. The head could be looked at as a little bit on the large side, but I've always thought of it as more of a helmet, as opposed to the entire thing being her actual head. On mine, the paint applications for her eyes are a little bit sloppy, and she does have a paint scuff on her upper chest, but for a nearly 40-year-old figure, I think it's in pretty respectable condition. The back of the figure in robot mode is nearly as clean as it was in shuttle mode, with the exception of the tail fin that's poking out that actually reminds me a little bit of a shark's dorsal fin. I'm actually a little bit embarrassed to admit this, but when I first got the official version of the figure, I started pulling on the tail fin to remove it, only realizing then that it wasn't removable like it was on my knockoff version of the figure. I'm really glad I didn't break it. When it comes to articulation, there's not much. The arms will rotate a full 360 degrees at the shoulder. Just be mindful that there is a slight clearance issue with the back wing, and although her head is stuck in one position, her helmet can look left and right, and she can even do a full 360 due to transformation. Overall, Spay-C has a very good robot mode, especially for a figure of her small stature. I've mentioned the knockoff version of the figure a few times now during the review, and if you're a collector like me and like to arm yourself with knowledge to avoid getting ripped off, the date stamp on mine is located on the inner left leg, and it says MR-14, which of course stands for Machine Robo number 14. If you're aware of other date stamps on official variants of the figure, please feel free to mention them in the comments section of the video. It could go a long way in helping other adult collectors. Now for a little bit of fun, I thought I'd do a quick comparison with another figure. Here she is next to G1 Combaticon Blastoff from my vintage Bruticus Combiner set. Now, I know this isn't going to be a very popular opinion, but if I'm being honest and objective, I think that Spay-C has a better looking robot mode. For starters, she has proper hands, her legs aren't merged together at the knees, and she doesn't have a teeny tiny little head. Now, in fairness, Blastoff's design is compromised because he needed to be able to combine with the 4 other Combaticons to form Bruticus, but judging it strictly on the merits of the robot mode alone, I'd say that Spay-C looks better. Feel free to prove me wrong in the comments section of the video, and I just may pin your comment. Here they are next to one another in shuttle mode. As you can see, Blastoff is a considerably larger figure. Spay-C measures a mere 3 1/4 inches, but of course, as everyone knows, size isn't everything. Between the two of them, she looks a lot more like a real-life space shuttle. A lot of this comes down to the black and white color scheme, the shape of the wings, and the shuttle itself, which makes her look like an old-school NASA space shuttle. As much as I like Blastoff, I still have to give the nod to Spay-C in shuttle mode, but again, let me know what you think in the comments section. Okay guys, I think it's time to wrap this one up. So in conclusion, does a Machine Robo series MR-14 Shuttle Robo or GoBots Spay-C belong in your collection? Well, let's put it this way. If you're a GoBots or a G1 Transformers collector, then this figure would go perfectly in either collection. One nice thing about the GoBots is that the regular-sized figures all scale really nicely together, and when it comes to G1 Transformers, Spay-C would look great with your mini-bots, or really with any pre-1986 movie figures, particularly in robot mode. If you're interested in picking up one of these figures, a few things to watch out for would of course be knockoffs. Sadly, GoBots seem to have a reputation as being inferior to the Transformers in terms of quality, and in my opinion, a lot of this comes down to the numerous counterfeit figures that penetrated the market back in the 1980s. Collectors that don't know what to look for group them all in together as GoBots since they do look nearly identical, but I think that this has definitely done the GoBots brand an injustice over the past 4 decades. The other less obvious thing to be aware of is, of course, loose legs. Sadly, any figure that relies on friction to hold the legs in place to stand will eventually get worn out and compromise their ability to stand over time. That's why we see so many G1 Shockwaves who are either leaning to one side or where neither leg will stay extended under the weight of the figure. If you like GoBots, why not check out the GoBots and Machine Robo playlist on my channel. The last review that I did before this one was Psykill, who is of course the leader of the Renegades, and if you like G1 Transformers, I've recently done a video discussing the old mail-away G1 Transformers promotions, where I featured the rare Autobot G1 Time Warrior watch. Anyways, thanks again for taking the time to watch my collector's guide to vintage 1980s GoBots. Take care.